This is Bestie made plans with,
Oh, Haley.
she forgot her name, and Ange, and I totally keep doing it the wrong way every time. Anyway, welcome. So first off, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
Uh,
to you. Happy birthday, dear Haley. Happy birthday to you. Woo! It's not your birthday, but it's close.
no.
Birthday. How was your birthday?
I call these birthdays mayonnaise birthdays
Okay,
because
tell me
they're
more.
they're just sort of regular,
Mm-hmm.
normal. A friend introduced me to the term and it just really felt right, for most birthdays.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because I was actually that's what I figured the topic of our episode today could be is birthdays and ask you like what did you do? And the classic Angela question that I ask my nieces every year and I ask other people, but they get so annoyed with me and it's how does it feel to be in your 40s?
Um, well, we've been in our 40s for a little while.
I know. I just didn't want to reveal your actual age.
Oh, I don't mind. Um, it's, okay, rewind, start from the
You have
beginning.
glasses, by the way. I like the color.
Oh, thanks. Oh, well, they're actually just blue light glasses because I was doing some homework today. This is totally aside from your question.
It's okay.
But what I find is looking at the computer, my eyes start to twitch and
Hmm,
this stops them from twitchy.
that's good.
So anyway, yeah. But thank you.
You're welcome.
I find that I have to look at birthdays now, looking back through decades, and I'm sure I'll be looking back even now and have a different perspective. But if I think about like a childhood, birthdays were always fun. You always felt celebrated. There's
Hmm.
something about it. They were great. Um, and then into your like, and I would say that's even up to like your 20s. And then your 20s, they start to be like there's some celebration, but like I feel like the 20s, it's like more getting into real life kind of vibes. My
Yeah.
30s was fun. I think every birthday was kind of weirdly fun.
Hmm.
Interesting. And my 40s, most birthdays have been mayonnaise. Like just kind of,
Like they're
yeah,
on the bread, but only enhancing it a slight amount.
correct. Yeah.
Oh,
And it's not that like anything bad happens. I usually end up like feeling very happy and very celebrated. I just feel yeah, I guess I have less stock in them. I don't know.
yeah, I know what
I
you
don't
mean.
know. But
I
my 40s also feel kind of like my 20s
in what way?
in that I feel like I'm like evaluating and figuring out what I want to be in the world
Oh,
again. Whereas I feel like in my 30s, I feel like I was kind of more I felt more in place.
yeah, you felt like you knew where you were going. You knew where
Hmm.
you would end up, even if you didn't
Hmm.
end up there. Um,
Correct.
so what did you
Yeah.
actually do for your birthday?
Oh, on my actual birthday, I worked
Yes, that
and
sounds about right.
very mayonnaise. And
No.
then beyond that, I got stuck in like I think a million years of traffic. I felt like I lost time and I aged significantly, even more in those moments.
Yeah.
I got stuck in traffic. And then by the time I got here, I was like, I can't think about dinner. So I just had no energy left. And so I went out for dinner. And then, but it was like not an exciting dinner. It was just a nice dinner, but
Hmm.
it wasn't like, it was like like a little mall restaurant.
Okay, okay.
And then, like it was for Thai food, but it wasn't like a
No.
Thai, like the best Thai place.
Yeah.
And then, and then, and then I went to bed. Yep.
No, did you get any nice gifts?
I did yesterday, actually. Two friends took me to dinner, which was very nice.
Oh, nice.
And they showered me with many, many gifts, which is very sweet of them.
Yeah.
including dinner, which is very nice. And then this is the funny part. On the way home, because I decided, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna have a drink, you know. So I'm not gonna drive into the city. I'm gonna take the bus and then I'm Ubering home.
Yeah.
So, a couple funny stories. These are completely unrelated, I'm certain, to where you want the direction of this conversation to go.
I don't have any agenda other than let's talk about birthdays because it's your birthday.
Okay, so I'm on the bus, and buses are eternally exciting and entertaining.
Love the bus, yes.
The bus, yeah. So this guy gets on. He's pretty like he looks pretty like, affluent, you know, and he's wearing these pants. And it just made me think, like, it made me laugh first off, and then it made me think, like, maybe I don't know anything about fashion. But he was wearing these pants that had literally like the crotch of the pants, like just where the crotch is, flames. Flames deckled onto his crotch. So
What?
onto his twig and berries was just a flame. And I thought, this is not the correct messaging, you know? And then I got to thinking, like, because he's sort of and then I'm like, I'm thinking about this too much. And then I think like, oh, and then as he's walking past, he's just busting ass. He's crop dusting the whole way up the bus. And so that was also nice. But then I realized as he's getting off the bus, I'm like, maybe it'd be better to have the flame on the butt. And then I was like, no, that's way too descriptive of what's happening. So these are the birthday thoughts, you know?
Oh my
And then
God.
I and then I get to downtown and I walk to the restaurant. And what was my other weird thought? Now I've lost my train of thought. Oh God. It's happened. This is perimenopause for you.
So annoying. Uh,
Oh, what was I thinking? Oh yes. Oh yes. So then after the restaurant, I had to Uber.
yeah.
So I get an Uber with a lovely gentleman. And the thing is, before I get in the Uber, I said this is probably going to be, I'm probably going to be picked up by an engineer. Bye, suckers, like as a joke. Sure
Yeah.
enough, this gentleman is the mechanical engineer from Turkey.
Wait, what?
And like we have this whole conversation, which was quite nice. And I'd had some wine, so I was chatty.
Right.
And at the end of it, he says, and tomorrow's my birthday. And I was like, what? So today is his
Oh,
birthday, really. And I
uh-huh.
said, what? I was like, it was my birthday. That's why we were there. He was like, holy smokes. He goes, we got to go out and celebrate some more. And then I just was like, no.
Oh
So
my,
I
yeah.
could have really lit it up for 46 by going out with a complete stranger who was also my Uber driver. But I made a different choice.
That sounds like a very Hayley birthday to happen. And then an Uber driver who's like, let's go party. But
Come on, Bobby, let's go
why
party.
did you say like that you were gonna get an engineer? Like just as a joke, just a random word, or
It's
is
a joke because I swear to God, every time I get into an Uber, it's always somebody who's wildly educated from another country. And it breaks my heart a little bit usually.
Mhm.
Um, but I was kind of like, man, it's funny that I picked engineer and then it actually was an engineer.
That
So
is funny. But that
yeah.
makes sense because that's one of the reasons that I'm not Canadian is because when mum and dad emigrated to Canada, their qualifications didn't count for anything. And my dad would have had to have been like taking a job. I think there was a job as a janitor or something
Yeah.
in order to get citizenship because that was kind of what they were planning on doing. And they were just kind of like, that there has to be another way other than just starting from like the complete ground up. So I mean, it makes sense that,
It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And you know what? Like, I don't think we're the only country that makes it difficult for, to get
Oh, no.
reassigned in your
Yeah.
training in another place. But it's definitely, and this is again, we're going off the course here. Flame crotch,
We'll come back.
Uber, we'll
We'll
come
come
back.
back.
We've gone the way of the flame crotch right now. Sending the wrong message. Anyway, I
Oof.
I just feel
We
sad though, because then I
so
think it's a real missed opportunity in every country because, we're looking for professional people. It's getting harder and more expensive to get education,
hmm
and there's less support systems. in place. Like it used to be an elitist thing, and then it was kind of like accessible at least to people.
Hmm.
And now I feel like it's becoming elitist again to be
Yeah.
educated.
Hmm.
And actually even more so than it was before because that divide is so big. And I feel like now also then we say to people who are immigrating to like countries, oh, well, you're going to have to start from scratch again. It's a wild expense. It's daunting mentally, having done the work already.
Yeah.
It's just kind of disrespectful.
Well, as you
And
know
it,
yourself, because
yeah,
I mean, you've had to
I
go.
also have this happen, and I'm in my own country, educated in my own country. Yeah, yeah. Also, you should know I have a whiskey with me, so I'm just gonna drink it sometimes.
No problem. I didn't bring tea. I've still got this blooming country time.
Oh,
Lemonade.
lemonade.
Yeah, that was what the reveal, well, it was the mysterious object. It was country time.
Mysterious.
I'm not paid by country time. It was a memory
I
because I
love
would go
it.
to Hayley's house in Malawi and she would have country time. Now, I was very British at this time and I had no idea what country time was. And
Delicious.
I mean, if it could light up the ADHD parts of my brain that are the addict, like this stuff will do it. So,
It
and I'm
could. No,
currently
it does.
out of sugar, so this is like get it in me
It's
because I don't know about anybody else, but perimenopause and like sugar is sometimes the only way I'm getting this neurodivergent ADHD brain any kind of dopamine for the day. Anyway, that's really off topic. I want to go back to the
as we do,
I want
as we
to go
do.
back to the pets. This is really bothering me now. Like, who do you think that he bought the pants and painted the flames himself, or is someone legitimately selling flame crotch pants?
I
Like,
think there are flame crotch pants. And beyond the fact that there are flame crotch pants, there are people who purchase flame crotch pants and then
I
wear them.
wonder, I wonder how
And
much they
and
cost.
I don't know what to say because it's the wrong message. It says I have an STD.
Weirdly, the first thing that comes up in the images is like fireproof cargos or like flames
Oh,
of the
it
leg
was
or
girl,
undies.
I do not think these pants were fire retardant. Nope.
I mean, like, what? It's so weird. Oh, wait. Well, I did find these, but these are like underwear. Can you see that?
I do see that.
It's
But
like
it was like that, but pants.
weird. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking about that.
And it was like a flake, like a drawn fire.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This guy, he struck me as the type of guy
Hmm.
that he bought brand name, whatever brand this was. Now it did have a name on the butt, but I was so in thought about that I just didn't think to like read it.
I swear, for like every 10 boring ass bus trips I get on, you'll get on and there'll be like, some dude with flame crotch
Well,
pants.
the thing is, this could be completely fly under the radar. But when I see something funny, I feel the need to share it. So then it becomes bigger.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
Yeah.
we'll go back to birthdays now. Okay, so that's
Okay.
I'm glad that you went out and you had some fun because I feel like for me now, birthdays are about like, let's go out to dinner and have something nice to eat together as a family. But it's become really hard for us to do that because everybody has their own dietary things. We have a dietary thing in our house, in our family. I mean, and so it can be
What
tricky.
are the different dietary things? List
Well,
it.
I was vegan for 10 years,
Yes,
but
I came across a letter recently in which you described
what?
your
Okay,
veganism.
tell me. Do I? Wait, when did I write that?
Oh,
Wait.
it's about Thanksgiving. It says, are
Oh,
you ready? Do you want
yes.
me to read this? I'll try to think of other names. Now that I'm vegan, no animal products. I choose to do my own thing and have Fred and the family over in the evening. It would have been awkward for me if I went with them to Judy's boss's house in terms of taking food I could eat. Oh, so you'd have to take food, is what you're saying.
Oh.
I also find it a bit boring as they tend just to sit around and watch TV. We won't get into the
Yes,
duty.
that
Yeah.
that actually interesting. Funnily enough, like and this is getting us into Thanksgiving.
So you've been feeling, wait, that was 2012, I think.
So that
Yeah.
had
So you were vegan before that though.
no, well, no, I became no, that was when I started veganism.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because yeah, I did like this Jiva Mukti yoga course for the weekend called like Warrior or Yoga Weekend. And the teacher made us watch Earthlings, and I just
Mhm.
could not eat meat or dairy or anything. I mean, I wasn't already eating dairy after that.
Earthlings. What's this?
It's a documentary, I think either like Joaquin Phoenix made it or he produced it or something. He always like holds it up. And then I basically, I mean, I was already off dairy because I have a dairy intolerance. And so then then veganism for 10 years, but because I'm perimenopause, anyway, it's long, complicated why I'm not vegan anymore. To sum it up, that thing, the joke that you see in memes of like vegans or some people shouting out the window, like, how do you get enough protein or whatever it is? Like, I always used to make fun of that, but truthfully, because I worked in TV and I was at the office for like 12 hours a day, and you would think in LA there would be more vegan options. There's not. It was actually really hard for me to find food to eat to sustain me, and I wasn't making enough money to be like making my own food and bringing it to work, so I was living off of the food that they gave us at work. But what I discovered was because I was just eating a lot of processed foods to get through, I wasn't getting enough protein. I think it's really affected my health going into perimenopause. So anyway, I had to completely
Hmm.
change my relationship to what I was thinking. And I was never like one of these staunch vegans because I agree with and support indigenous sovereignty when it comes to food. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I always had read and understood that like native people should be able to choose how they eat, and like different places need different diets. And then the fact that like the Dalai Lama, although anyway, we won't go in there, but the Dalai Lama had to eat meat because he, being Himalayan, it was part of his constitution. So I was vegan for myself, and because I chose not to eat animal products, and it did make me feel better at first. But I think unless you can be a healthy vegan, it can really affect your health. So anyway, I'm not vegan anymore. Anyway, getting back to what
I just wanna pause and get back to remember when we were gonna save Tibet. I was gonna say.
well, was it you wrote it or
I'm
I
just
wrote it in a
I'm
letter?
just gonna throw it out there. Yeah.
Oh no, it was a letter that I wrote to my parents, maybe my dad, and in it, if I can find it somewhere, it literally says, Haley and I are gonna save Tibet.
We're
Oh
fucking
my God.
triumphant. Yes,
That was very much though like 90s grunge, like Pearl
it
Jam,
was.
the Monkey Wrench Radio, and they would talk about Tibet and all stuff. And you know, a lot of I don't know, yeah, it's interesting. And we don't need to get too deep into that right now, but
We can do another episode on things we
yeah,
used to care about.
yeah. Because that's an
But that's
interesting.
maybe not the right way of saying it, but you
It
know what I mean.
also sits along with the whole Dalai Lama thing. There's a lot of stuff that got exposed about that lately that you're just kind of like, oh, anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyway, so I was vegan. I still can't do dairy. I'm not vegan anymore. I eat fish, meat, chicken, whatever I need. I listen to my body now. And I don't care what people think. Oh my God, how could you do it? The animals. Yes, I know the animals, but I have to listen to my body because I've been very unwell. And so
Mm.
that's my whole thing. Anyway, then we've got my brother is keto. And then
Okay.
and I don't quite know. I have to ask them about this. My niece is primal, but I don't know if that's the same as keto. It's like a whole thing where they don't do seed
So
oil.
you actually have a lot of like I just thought you were like I was like I thought you were just throwing something out. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Okay.
No.
Primal.
And then
Okay.
I forgot. I try to be gluten free, but like right now I'm so poor that I can't afford to. And so I'm
Mhm.
just kind of having to eat bread, but I have had to go gluten free, and it's to do with the MCAS, which is the inflammatory response in the body through perimenopause, being neurodivergent, and the PMDD. It's all related. And essentially, I can eat gluten. I'm not gonna like die or something, but I do not feel good. And sometimes I start like having skin itchies. So there's definitely like food intolerant issues that go on. So there's
Okay.
that. And then my other niece just eats anything. And then my sister-in-law just eats anything, although she has more certain preferences, more just because culturally she grew up, American is very different than how we grew up eating,
Mhm.
which was Scottish, but also, as you know, like all over the world. So it can be tricky trying to find a restaurant that doesn't do seed oils. I mean, we basically it's better that we just don't go out. So normally it's me and my folks, and I enjoy that, but I think I place too much value on like birthdays equal going out to spend money, but it's like at the same time, if I don't go out to eat, now in my 40s, I don't know what to do for my birthday. I
Mhm.
just feel like, I mean, we always have the birthday cushion, the birthday hat, the birthday sash, the birthday neck.
Wow.
This is because my mum was a teacher, and so she has all this stuff. So we always do that, and we have pancakes for breakfast if possible, and then we'll have cake or whatever. So we have like our little traditions that are fun.
Mhm.
But I do miss being able to go out for dinner. I mean, I miss,
I do have another tradition which I forgot about. My sisters and I.
yes.
This is well before my birthday. So my sisters and I are sort of within the realm of same birthdays, so we planned something
Yeah.
together. And in recent years, because like we don't really need gifts from each other, we just
Yeah.
have a weekend together. And
Ah, okay.
it's
You just did that.
yeah, yeah, we just did that. So that would have been at the end of May that we did that.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, it's so it was like several weeks ago. Should I be saying this? Yeah, it's fine.
Um,
Anyway, but that is a nice tradition because we make our own food and
oh, nice. Was it fun?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
always nice. And actually, it's a time for us to not be to be in our own dynamic. Do you know what I mean?
Like
Like,
kids and husbands and whoever.
yeah, like people aren't there. We're able to just be ourselves. And sometimes the conversations are really lovely and
Hmm.
ones that we aren't able to have
Yeah.
throughout the year at a regular family gathering, right? So,
Yeah. That's great. I mean, I think like my brother and I could do something like that, but it just wouldn't happen in the same way. But he's pretty good at when he has like a morning off because of his schedule, he'll pop round and help me with something in the house or something, and then we'll have a good chat, or he'll just call me when he's driving and we'll try to have a good chat about something. But that
mhm.
sounds nice, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one of the most memorable birthdays you've had? Can you think of one? Like maybe from like your 30s when you were like out doing stuff, having fun.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh,
If you don't have one right off the top of the bat, I can tell you what mine is.
go.
Okay, that gives you time to think because I did spring this on you. So it was when I was living in New York. I would have been like late 20s, early 30s, because I turned 30 in New York. So anyway, and I went to work and then was gonna go out with my coworkers because I really didn't have much of a social life there. I just found it hard to meet people. And and so anyway, I went out with them only to discover that I'd forgotten my ID, so we wouldn't be able to get into most of the bars we were going to go to. So they solved the problem by taking me to gay bars. My
Yes.
first gay bars, I think. Not because oh no, that's not true because I'd been to a gay bar here. But no, anyway, it wasn't my first gay bar. But anyway, so we went into this one gay bar, and there was like dancers on the bar in basically what would have been like flame crotch, like, but the what do you call them? The boulder holders, the banana hammocks or whatever, where it's just
Yeah.
material at the front and then elastic or a thong or whatever.
A
Um,
song. Yeah. Yeah.
and And this was kind of like, oh, okay. Because it's not like I'm super sheltered, but this was kind of like, I haven't seen this before. Interesting. And
Not
we,
from that angle, you know?
yeah, especially from that angle, 'cause you were kind of like, oh. And I mean, the guys are hot and classic Angela. I'm always falling in love with the gay guys. So this is it's perfect. I don't know if they were necessarily gay because as we were dancing, we moved to the back and we were just kind of dancing together in the back to the music. And one of the guys got off the bar and like went through to the back, but in the meantime stopped and like was having a flirt with me in a dance or whatever. And I was just kind of like, what's happening right now, huh? So that was, I mean, that was kind of it. It didn't progress any farther because as usual in situations like that, I just kind of go, help, help. This person's like, hi. And I'm like, So, but that was very memorable and it was just fun.
Hmm.
I don't know if I was drinking at that point because I've never been a big drinker, but there's been times when I have been a drinker. Maybe I
Yeah.
did, but it was so great to be able to still go out and not worry about the fact that I didn't have my ID, which I think I must have put it in like a pocket or something. Anyway,
But also it's funny that what you're saying then is that the gay bars were more lax about checking ID,
oh, well, I think also because
which is so interesting. It's an interesting thing to say. Yeah, I
I
wouldn't have thought that.
I know I think because we were females, though, we were going into like
Oh, good point. Good point.
bar with the dudes because that I think
Like
that's
a
the thing.
safe
The
zone.
guys on the bar were not from what I understood from my friend because I was like what the heck's going on here when the guy was kind of like being flirty and he was like yeah sometimes the guys on the bar are not gay and they're taking drugs to basically or maybe they're just taking drugs because they're staying a certain way. We'll go into it and
They're keeping themselves in the hammock,
yeah,
so to speak.
yes, in the hammock. And so in essence, and when we get kicked off, we can just jump back on again. But
Yeah.
in essence, it's like, and so he probably just wasn't gay. And I was kind of like, oh, interesting. Anyway, my eyes were opened that night to a lot of stuff that normally I didn't, because it's not like the kind of, I'm not a big bar person anyway, because I'm not a big drinker. I like to go out dancing and stuff, but I think if I had been around you more, we probably would have gone to more gay bars. Like I would have gone to more gay bars. But
Yeah. Because we actually went to a gay bar in New York when you lived there
did we?
the first time. Yeah. Yeah.
Which one?
We went to a
Oh, because
piano gay bar, a
oh
cabaret bar.
that one. There was a
Yeah.
really cool one that was like called Lipstick or something down in
Yeah.
Union Square, and that
All
was
I know is you probably couldn't go back there because I found myself with my head in the toilet, as you recall. And so probably that was the last time you went there.
but that was the night that we had like wine and mead and
There was a lot of booze
a
inside and then
martini or something. Oh,
several martinis
oh.
and emotion, lots of emotion.
It was
And
so, but it was, yeah, it was very vomitous. Yeah.
yeah,
What do you remember the kind of music they played at that piano bar? Was it just kind of like piano-y, like doodle-doo, doodle-doo, like, I guess
no, you know what? I don't think there was it was a piano because it's a piano bar like as in somebody normally is playing piano, but I think that night there wasn't any show.
yeah, I think you're right because I know that I
Yeah.
see the piano in one of the photos that we have,
Yeah.
but I don't remember.
But you know what? I would not have blamed you. And in a place like New York, when the world is your oyster and there's many other bars, not to go back to the one where your friend spent a very long time in the toilet.
Oh my God. Yeah, but I think the fun thing about you visiting was that I went to places that I didn't go to. Well, we did because we used your book. You had this like
Yes, I
New
love
York
that book.
$15 and under, and there's so many. We need to have an episode on like New York and what we remember. 'Cause
Yeah. Oh
you're-
God, I loved that trip so much. And if I could only find a book like that for traveling, like more, obviously now it's like almost impossible, I feel like. But yeah, like I made that trip happen on very little resources. I mean, thankfully a large in large part because you lived there. So like I didn't have to get a hotel.
Yeah.
But also I feel like I properly explored New York, like not like all of it, obviously, but I properly explored that place. It was so great.
We did. And actually, the
Yes.
thing is that most of the places that we visited no longer exist. And mo actually, New
Yeah.
York for me does not exist anymore. Like my New York doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You go there, and so many places that I used to go to are just gone because
Yeah.
of COVID. It's really it's sad.
Sad. Yeah. Well,
But
I
it,
think New
oh
York, like people from New York always say this.
yeah,
I'd say probably decade by decade, they're like, it's not the same. And I think you could say that for any place, but New York definitely changes faster.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's in our memories. So yeah, tell us about what your birthday memory is.
Okay, so like while you were talking, I mean, I was more trying to pay attention to what you were saying, but I guess one sort of sprung up. I
Thank
mean, like, yeah, but like I didn't want to be like thinking too deep. Like, what? Oh my God, going through my 30s. There was a lot of really good ones, and lots of them just involved what we were talking about.
Mhm.
But one, I guess, that really sticks out, I tend to like a quiet birthday for sure. But this one was special because it was late 30s. I had gone with a friend to Scotland, actually, and we were there on a little trip, and I was there over my birthday.
Mm,
And I spent my birthday, I think it was in Glencoe,
okay.
and at a little weird, it was like little hobbit houses,
Mm.
and there was a weird little hot tub, and it was like in a forest by a stream. It was magic. And just having like breakfast out there and just like, yeah. And then I think very close, oh, actually, and then that day went on a hike and had, brought 2 bottles of champagne and sat in a field, like a basically like a bracken fern field,
Uh-huh.
like on the sort of looking out to sky.
Oh.
And it was all in the same day, sort of different places, but drank a bottle of champagne in the sun and just lied on a rock in this like bracken field. And I have to tell you, pure magic. These are my favorite
Science pure
birthdays.
magic. Science
Yeah.
pure magic. Well, and I think that's okay. That's one thing that is amazing about Scotland is this right to roam. It means
Hmm.
that you can basically do that. You can go into some farmer's field and t drink champagne, and they can't do anything because of the right to roam.
Hmm.
I think they're trying to get rid of it, because there's stupid landowners who don't want people on their land or whatever.
Well, there's people who wreck it too. There's people who are disrespectful. Quietly drinking a bottle of champagne is
Yeah.
not a problem. But like drinking a bottle of champagne, smashing that bottle of champagne and leaving it in the woods can be a problem, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
No, no, no. I packed it out. I packed it out.
that does sound really nice. So I vaguely remember you telling me about that in your
Hmm.
I think maybe we were doing Marco at that time, but it seems so long ago now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And now I might be getting muddled. I mean, it was all around the same like 3 days, like which I know that the breakfast happened on my birthday. It doesn't matter. It was peaceful. It was a nice, peaceful birthday.
It
And
sounds
I also love to explore. Like I just love to like
yeah.
be seeing something new or eating something new. I'm big on food and bev and like just having and
Yeah.
like just doing like, on your birthday. It doesn't have to be anything, but we should at least be celebrating that we made it thus far because you know people and I know people who have not made it thus far.
Yeah.
So even if I call it a mayonnaise birthday, it's also not bad that nothing exciting happened. That it was just we made it is also pretty good.
Yeah, and I think that like the issue can often be that you feel like something should happen, and then when it doesn't, it's like kind of like a downer. Because
I
I
think we're made to feel that way, right? That, oh, what did you do for your birthday? Like, what did happen? Like this is a big part of it, right? From childhood. So,
yeah, and I mean because I had a lot of birthdays here when I was at school that we never did anything. I never did anything with anybody because my family weren't here. And so I was relying on like, or not relying, but like I would be doing stuff with friends, but we had a film festival on in town and nobody ever wanted to do anything with me because they always wanted to go to the party at the film festival. So it's like I would be like, hey, should we go, can we go do this? And people would be like, oh yeah, 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 sure, sure. And then, they would not do it. So I think maybe the one year. we did go to dinner at a Japanese restaurant that we enjoyed. There weren't that many restaurants here at the time, and it was very different than it is now. But um, that was disappointing to me. I think that's why I appreciate my family and just doing something with the family because, it, I don't know, it's sometimes I find friends can let you down. And I'm sure that I've also let people down on their birthdays where I was just like, oh God, I can't do one more thing this week and I have to go to someone's birthday party. Because it can be a snooze fest to a
Hmm.
certain extent sometimes. But but yeah, so lower stakes, lower expectations,
Yeah.
mayonnaise. I mean, mayonnaise
Mayonnaise.
is a
And
meal.
then you know what? Then like a dinner like I had last night is just like perfect. It's nice.
What did
Yeah.
you eat?
Italian food. It was a very fancy
I thought you said
upper
it was
crust
Thai.
Italian. What's
No?
that?
You said it was Thai.
Oh no, that was for my actual birthday.
Oh,
Last, yes, because yesterday was not my actual birthday, but
I see.
it
With
was a quasi adjacent celebration,
yeah,
post
buddies.
celebration. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're just about out of time, so why don't we say adieu and you get to enjoy the rest
Mm.
of your day. Thanks for chatting birthdays with me, and we will be back
Yeah. We've
again.
gone far off course, but that's okay.
Sometimes those are the best chats. Well, love
True.
you, girl.
Love you too.
We'll chat again soon.
Bye.